Let's talk about Donda.
Yeah.
Who here has listened to the album?
I've listened to bits and pieces. Like I skip around when I listen to albums. I don't really listen to full things. I just I just pick and choose some songs, especially ones that I see are trending. I'll be like, oh, let me listen to this and stuff. Yeah, that's basically how I listen to albums usually.
I didn't even realize that this album was out. I thought he was supposed to drop it the same day that Drake was dropping his album.
No, the thing is, nobody really knew when it was dropping. Literally, nobody knew when it was dropping. It kind of just dropped suddenly on like this past Sunday, but it was supposed to drop last year, right? It was supposed to drop last year, and then he didn't drop it. Then he was supposed to drop it this year sometime in July, and then that didn't happen either. He had 3 listening parties, and after each listening party, everybody thought he was going to drop it. Even after the one last week, they were like, he's probably going to drop it at midnight. After this listening party, it's probably the last listening party. Let me tell you, I have some friends who were like, they didn't drop it.
He just keeps you guessing in everything in life, in everything.
Well, I like that he does listening parties, but this latest one that was a little bit interesting. Kim Kardashian came out in her wedding gown. He had the baby and Marilyn Manson on there with him.
He set himself on fire.
He's provocative.
Yeah.
He made a replica of his childhood house. The exact dimensions, exact look, and he made it burn.
Yeah, with him in it.
Yeah.
That
was crazy.
Is that subliminal?
I always feel like artists really think on a whole nother level, because that was a whole nother level of symbolism.
Wait, so Sinead, would you get one of our old houses and burn it for your listening party?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah,
if you guys were going to get a childhood house, which one would you guys?
I would do 71 house.
The blue house.
Why was I going to say that? I wouldn't say the blue house. I liked our blue house, but the thing is, I would say the Victorian house that we used to live in.
Yeah.
I
was
think
cursed.
that one. Well, I don't know if it was cursed. I don't think it was cursed. But I feel like it gives the feel of if it burned, it would look good. I don't know. I don't know.
It had some pretty paranormal stuff in there. So.
Oh man.
I don't think that house had anything paranormal going on.
Some spirits. I mean.
Wow.
What are you talking about?
Guys,
No, elaborate. I don't want people thinking we lived in some haunted house.
No,
It was a haunted house.
A little backstory, guys. The reason why we're saying that the Victorian house is haunted is because there was bats in there. So that's why we have to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, the bats.
Bats.
Well,
We found stuff in the attic.
yeah, we'll have to tell that story another day.
Yeah.
That is an interesting story. The bat story.
Yeah.
But Kanye, I think that Kanye is one of the most memorable lyricists, rappers that there is ever. He's just very memorable. Not every rapper is a lyricist. Like some rappers are just like,
well, they repeat the same things over and over with no
But,
message.
Yeah, he always has a message.
Yeah.
I mean, he snapped with Jesus Walks. That was a great song.
Yeah, he has a lot of interesting.
And Gold Digger. Gold Digger was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It was funny.
So do you think he's going to have like any of those? Like which song on his Donda do you think is going to be that hit that people remember? Like Jesus Walks or Gold Digger?
Right now, I'm hearing everybody's liking Jail, and I heard some of Jail, and Jail sounded really good. And
What's it about?
What's it about?
Being in jail?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's about him being in jail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're really close to the album.
No, I have no idea. I have really no idea about
But
this
I
album.
also heard Jesus Lord is really interesting. So that's an interesting one that people really like. So, there's probably a lot of songs. I think
There's
we have
like
to take the
27.
time.
Yeah, you really have to take the time to listen to it because there's literally like 27 songs there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so you have to take the time out of your day to really listen.
Wow.
I heard
So do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that I heard that he rented out a side room in the Benz Stadium.
Mercedes-Benz.
The Mercedes-Benz Stadium while he was writing
In
the
Atlanta.
song. And I heard it was super what was it? It was like a big high rate each night, but I feel like he was really channeling his artistry. I don't know.
His inner
it was
Kanye.
such weird. It wasn't even like it was writing in his house, a stadium. That was really
one
weird.
thing I find about artists is that this is what I've seen is that they like to put themselves in an environment that's not too luxurious, something that will bring out the creativity. Like there's some people who do, they record their album in their home, but there are other people who they go to another place. So they might fly to Scotland or they go to Wyoming or they go to somewhere else where it's not familiar and they're able to, I think, free them from whatever constraints that you feel when you're at home. You know, the bills, the people around you, the environment. I just think it's really important. I think they go somewhere that changes the whole environment.
He's looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, the idea, or I don't know if he was just doing this for publicity, but he was going to drop it the same time as
Drake.
Do you think that him dropping it like 6 days or a week before Drake will be better for him? Do you think he should have done it after? Do you think it's going to affect Drake's sales? Like, what do you think?
I think it's always all good. I think it's going to be good publicity
For both
That's
of them,
what it all
probably.
is.
Yeah, it's all publicity.
Like, publicity is what sells things.
Right.
You know, if he dropped it and like nobody knew and nobody really cared, I think that it wouldn't, not only would it not sell well, I feel like that's not what the vision. I think he wanted everybody to be on board. Like every artist wants everyone to buy their record. But this one, it seems like it was very personal for him.
Yeah, I heard
So it
that
means
he
a
was
lot.
like asking to get it remixed several times and stuff. Like that's why it was getting delayed. Like he wanted it to be redone, like have changes made and everything because he really wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah, he is a perfectionist. But what I found funny was the people who were left off.
What do you mean?
Well, Soulja Boy did a verse. His was left off.
Oh.
Chris Brown, I think, did a verse. His was left off.
Oh.
They're saying that Jay-Z's verse was left off.
Oh.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. And I feel like, man, if this is like an album, some people say this is not just the album of the year. This is the album of a lifetime. If you had a verse on the album of a lifetime, wouldn't you be really upset if yours was left off?
Ooh.
Yikes.
Wow.
He said his perfectionist mindset. Nah, this ain't good enough.
Well, then if my verse made it, I'd be like, yeah,
I know.
I'm
I'd be
perfect.
Like, yo,
All right.
I'm
my
perfect.
verse made it, y'all.
Man. But I like the fact that he actually did do this album in a way that tells an actual story, a narrative.
Yeah.
And I think it was a quote I saw from Beyonce actually pretty recently. I don't know when she said this, but there was to just put it into context. What she was saying was that too many people now just release songs and they think, oh, well, this song hit.
Right,
And they're
right.
not being creative and telling a story. Like I think of her story with Lemonade, that album. You know,
Yes,
like that
yeah.
was a narrative.
Right.
And then the other one too. This is her joint one with Jay-Z.
Right. I
That
can't
one
remember
was
what
good.
that
I
one
can't remember what
was
it was called.
But
Bonnie
yeah.
and Clyde or something like that?
No, that was a song, but
Oh, okay.
but definitely artists these days, I think there's two types. There's ones that's just about let's just get as much money as we can. Let's just put out what they think will be a banger. Or there's other ones who are more about the art. And I think
Right.
that's in everything, guys. Even
Yeah.
for us, like what we do here, especially like on social media, you know, the ones who are just like, what's the latest trend? We're just going to make money. And then those who are like, what about the art of
Right.
it? And then it's always usually about money or art. Because a lot of times you don't get both. But the rare times that you get both, like I think Kanye does.
Right.
He has both.
Right,
He
right,
gets the
right.
money and he gets to do his art. But I think if we all spent more time really cultivating that art and whatever you're doing, whether it's music or whether it's videos or painting or whatever it is, I think that you'll be a lot happier in life and you'll probably end up getting more money in the long run because people would appreciate it more. What do y'all think?
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta make sure that you're in your passion, and you gotta make sure that you're putting yourself into whatever you're doing. You can't just be copying.
Right.
He's definitely a unique individual.
He is.
So how many of you have his songs or is going to have his songs on your playlist?
The Donda?
Yeah, like which one of his songs are you going to put on your
I gotta
playlist?
listen to it again fully before I say it because
Yeah,
there's a lot of songs
same.
here. And I gotta really like. So I have to listen to something several times before I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna add it to my playlist. I gotta get the vibe for it. You know
Do you
what I
guys
mean?
have him on your playlist at any of his songs, like even his old stuff?
Yeah.